Oh. Oh.
So we're on.
Yep, just talk shit.
So I'm doing some live tarot readings today. I just thought I'd jump on for a little while and shuffle the cards and see what we can get. So I thought it would be really good to have a look and see what the cards have to say for this week. So we are Sunday, the 28th of July 2024. So it is just after midday Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I've just been shuffling the cards to put some energy into them because I just want to do some general look and just to see what comes up with that. So if you jump on and you'd like to make a comment or to get involved, please do that. All right. So I'm going to lay out a spread. I can't actually see my socials yet, so if you've joined, hi, welcome. I will get them up in a second and I'll be able to see. So I'm using the Rider-Waite deck. So the Rider-Waite deck is a very common tarot deck, so there's lots of information that comes up in there, and the symbols in the Rider-Waite deck are very clear for people to see. So when I'm reading the tarot, I use all sorts of different decks. If you've had a reading with me, you know that I like to use things like the Druidcraft deck or the Wiccan deck, or even some of my really beautiful Victorian romantic decks. But this is a really good one for learning. So my tarot course that I offer, I use this as my primary deck to read from. All right, so we've shuffled quite a lot of the cards now, so I'm just going to start with the 3-card spread and we're going to see what comes up. Doing a weekly one, which I've alluded to before, just like talking about the week, what's to come. All right. So these cards, I'll put them up closer to the camera, but a 3-card spread gives us a general overview. So a lot of the time when I'm reading for people, I'll do a quick spread just to connect my energy to people. Now I have tried to clean my hands, but I have been planting trees this morning, so they're a little bit dirty. Sorry about that. Okay, so in the past, so this is my week ahead that I'm reading for today. In the past, I have the 7 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands talks a lot about building, creating, making something, and it's all about that energy that we get. So you can see he's holding a wand in front of him, and you can see that he's got the 6 wands behind him. So he's laboring, he's working. But when we look at the symbolism of the cards, we can see that he has blue sky. So the blue sky is a symbol of things are good, things are okay. The sky is clear, there's no clouds in the sky. That gives us an indication that things are going well. And so that is in the background, processes happening, things going on, things being created. So that's occurring, that's the action. Wands are all about energy and action. In the center, or what's going on right now, we have a major arcana card, and this is number 6, the Lovers. So remember that tarot, if you know much about tarot, tarot goes back to the astrology very, very big time. So we have the Lovers, which is Gemini, so the twins. So we have 2 aspects. So it's the dichotomy of life. So we have masculine, feminine energy there. We also have this big bright sun coming out of the sky. And so the sun in the tarot symbolizes joy. It symbolizes positive events. So when I see the Lovers, I always think about a decision or a crossroads that's come up for myself. So what it's telling me is right now I'm in the process of making a big decision. So we can see that symbolism there. It's quite bright. There's lots going on in that card, but we have Archangel Gabriel sitting above that reading too. And so Archangel Gabriel represents healing and represents information and knowledge to be shared. So he's actually governing. There's divine timing with this decision, and there is almost that gentle reminder that a lot of stuff that we get presented with comes from the universe, comes from something bigger than us, the bigger energy that is more than we are capable of. So that is telling me that this week or coming up, I am making a choice, and that choice is going to be profound. That's going to have significant effects. So I still can't see my socials yet. I'm not sure if there's anybody joining us today. We're trying to get that up, sorry. All right, so over on the right of the reading, we have, thank you, Matt. Matt's doing all this work behind. Yep, Vanessa, thank you for joining. I can do a reading for you. Just give me 1 minute, I'll just finish this one. Thanks for joining the channel. King of Swords is always very interesting. King of Swords to me is all about archaic energy. So in my world, the King of Swords represents the masculine type energies. It represents things that govern decisions that are beyond my control. So what it's telling me is that there's going to be some kind of a worldly event or something around that I'm going to have to make a decision around. So that could be laws that are made, that could be, something that's happening in the background with institutions, things like that. So as a naturopath, I'm governed by things like what the TGA decide, what my association decides. There could be changes in products and information around what I do in my jurisdiction. So I'm feeling it's around that, but I will be guided by the divine in making my decision. All right, Vanessa, I'm going to shuffle the cards for you and we're going to have a little look and see what comes out. So if you've had a reading before, you would know how the tarot works, and that the tarot gives a lot of insight into your energy and my energy, and it transcends space and time. So it doesn't matter whether you're all the way across the world, it doesn't matter whether you're around the corner, it doesn't matter whether you're in my presence or not. Readings do transcend space and time. Energy is abundant and infinite. So I love that the tarot can connect us across cyberspace. All right, I'm feeling those cards are getting nice and warm, and that's always my indication that we need to have a little look here. All right, I'm going to cut them into 3 for you, Vanessa, and then I'm going to pop them back and we're going to have a look together. Okay. All right, so things are moving quickly for you in your life at the moment, I think. So there must be a lot going on in your life. Okay. So in your life, you've had a lot of things happen all at once. I feel like the energy is really, really swift for you. I feel like things are going really, really fast. It's all happening at once for you, and you've got a lot of people around you that are perhaps causing a lot of stress. There's a lot of conflict. So I feel like you're in the middle of people's anger and people fighting, and you feel like you just can't tend to find that balance for yourself, and that feels really, really hectic to me. So I feel very stressed in your energy for you, because I feel like you're swept up in somebody's emotional state that's close to you. So that's in the past, that's kind of moving into the future. But right now, I feel like you've hit a bit of a stalemate where you don't know which direction to turn. And that's the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords sits there, and it's basically you feeling like you don't know where to go. So you feel like you're trapped, you feel like you're stuck in a situation. Now, swords are all about thoughts. And I feel like some of your thinking or some of the ways that you're trying to plan to do something about your situation have been really, really tricky. You keep coming up trumps. You keep coming up with really no way out. But I'm going to say that don't worry, because the universe is going to decide for you. But I think that also you're not looking after yourself enough. I don't think you're putting yourself first. I feel like other people are coming to the fore with their emotions and their demands, and they're actually jumping in very, I would say, aggressively with their energy, and they're kind of taking a lot from you. So I feel like you're actually trying to keep the peace all the time. And I think that that is really, really stressful. But in the future, the Tower is a major arcana card, and I'm going to lift that up for you so you can see, because this is what I'm going to spend some time talking about. But the Tower is telling me that you've got a big unexpected event about to unfold around this situation. So the Tower is all about those events that occur because they need a change needs to happen. So I want you to be aware that it's going to happen in an unexpected way. So you couldn't even imagine how this is going to unfold. But basically things are going to change. There is going to be a turning point. But I would say you need to protect yourself. You need to look after yourself. Things are pretty full on, and you don't necessarily let people know how much you're struggling. I think that you're someone who tries to get by and manages a lot on your own, but there is someone around you who is really, really, really toxic, and their energy is really, really worrying. So I would be really concerned about this person. And I would also be telling you probably not to go on any ventures with them, or not to get involved in any of their schemes, or to do anything more with this person. You're better off pulling your energy back, and you're better off staying out of the firing range, because there are unexpected events happening around them, and it's going to happen really quickly. So you need to stay away from that kind of violence. So, or just, I feel like it's that kind of energy, like really chaotic energy. And this person is not thinking about your needs, they're thinking about themselves. So your advice is to pull your energy back, and that's with the Two of Swords, that anything you do needs to be done with your own protection in mind, because everything around you is a bit chaotic at the moment, and you don't deserve to be caught up in the crossfires. So pull your energy back, look after yourself, and really, really try not to get involved in any of those situations, or those people that seem too good to be true, or they're trying to trap you in a cycle of some type. It's not going to end well, is what I can see here. Sorry if that was a bit of a heavy reading, but I feel like you needed a little bit of that information just to help you through that. But pull yourself back, pull your energy back from this. I hope that's helped you, Vanessa. All right, so I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread as well, and just see what comes of that. And that's going to be a general Celtic cross. So that's going to be more of worldly events and things that might come up this week. So if you're watching, I'm going to do a bit of a worldly spread right now. Because often the tarot, we get a lot of jumping too with the tarot. It will tell us what's going on, or what we can kind of expect for the next 7 days, because obviously there's lots of mixed energy going on in the world right now. Also, if you have jumped on and you'd like me to lay out the cards for you, just put a comment there so I can see it come up, and I'll be able to do that for you. Okay. All right, warming up those cards and clearing energy from those cards. Okay. So I'm cutting them into 3 with my left hand. That always disperses the energy through the cards, popping them back together. All right. So the Celtic cross layout is the 10 card spread, and it's going to give us a little bit more of an overview. So the first card that I've laid out is the 7 of Cups. Second card is the 4 of Pentacles. The card we're walking on is the 9 of Cups. And we have the Page of Cups above. To the side in the past, we have the 7 of Wands. So these are all minor arcana cards. Then the Lovers, which we've had before as well. So big decisions being made in the world as well. So just move them across so we can see. And then I'm going to do the line here. King of Swords, 6 of Swords, 6, 2 sixes, 6 of Wands, and Ace of Pentacles. All right, so we have only one major arcana card, and that's come back to my reading I just did before, which is the Lovers card. So all my attention is drawn to the major card, and then all those circumstances around that. So the Lovers card, this one here, which I pulled up before, is all about big decisions being made. So what it's telling me is that there are big events going on in the world, and there are big changes going on. We know we got the Olympics happening at the moment, the US elections, there's lots of stuff going on. But the Lovers is talking about us as individuals having to make a decision. So big decisions coming up in the world. So whatever gets decided, you need to decide how you proceed ahead, because these events will affect everybody. For the next week or so, there's going to be some big stuff going on behind the scenes. And when I say behind the scenes, I'm saying that because I have the 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Cups is saying that there are lots of kind of ways that world leaders and, some of the powers that be can make decisions. So that card is all about having too much choice or too much availability of decisions that can be made. Now, there are lots of cups with different things in them, and that's basically the world's current state at the moment. So there's lots of ways that they can go about different things. So we can see that we have cups with different things. We've got jewels, we've got laurel wreaths in there. So they're all symbolisms. We've got even a serpent coming out of one. So they could choose to take the good path, the dark path, whatever path they want to. But that's all being decided. There's lots of emotional elements to this as well. And then I have the crossing it, I have the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is all about, Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. We had the Seven of Cups before. Cups are about emotions. Pentacles are about resources. So I feel as though the cost of living, interest rates, all of that stuff is really making people feel trapped and stuck in their circumstances as a collective. So a lot of decisions being made financially behind the scenes in the world at the moment. And I think that is where a lot of these choices are being made by world leaders. But also the foundation of the Nine of Cups is probably talking about some wishes coming true or things that people have been thinking about or hoping for. Probably be a pretty good week. So I feel like it's not all is lost. It's not all terrible in the world, okay? There are some good things to come, and we're walking on that foundation of a brighter future. So that's really, really exciting. Hi, Kat. How you going? So the Nine of Cups is a very important card in that sense for the world, in that emotions are running high. So very, very interesting. So I think that if we're looking at the foundation of the earth, this one is the one to focus on, because it looks like things aren't as bad as they seem right now. And I think things like the Olympics bring everybody together. I think there's been a lot of violence leading up to the Olympics. So I think that things are going to turn a corner this week. And I think there's going to be a lot of positives that come out of that. So that's good news. Page of Cups above the reading, indicating that there will be lots of messages, lots of joy, lots of positivity. That could be Australia in particular. I'm in Australia doing well in the Olympics, so we might be hearing lots of joy, and that brings people's spirits up a little bit as well. The Lovers card, decisions around how we go about our collective consciousness. So remember the good stuff in the world. It's not all bad. So Seven of Wands in the background is talking about all of that toil, all of that work that's going on is not in vain. So individuals that are working for a better future are actually making a positive impact. So not all is lost. Current environment, we have lots of government instability. So that's the King of Swords. King of Swords is archaic. King of Swords is struggling. But I will say this, that changes are happening all around us. So the Six of Swords above that and the Six of Wands above that too tell us that there is actually going to be a bit of turbulence around finances and stuff, but it's going to come out and be quite good. Hello, I can't quite see your name there. Sorry about that. Can't quite read that from here. Can you read that name for me, Matt? Okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry, but hi. Hoffman, welcome. Sorry. So Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles are talking about new change, new direction. So I actually think that even though there's turbulence going on, we are moving away from some of the archaic ways of being. So this is them trying to hold on. The government's trying to hold on really strong. And this is us moving in a different direction. So moving away from things that aren't serving us as a collective, as the human collective, and actually being victorious in that. I think there's some waves happening. I think there's some positive change. Ace of Pentacles talks about a new way of doing things, a new way, people power. So I actually think that there's new beginnings coming, and I'm actually really excited to see it this week. Now, I might just lay out another spread for you, Kat, and just see what comes up, if that's okay. Just do a 3-card if you're still watching, and see what we can get for you this week. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards and have a look. All right, let's see. Give them a good shuffle. It's always good to get our energy into the cards. It's nice that the sun came out a little bit. It was a little bit cool this morning and rainy, and we had some tree planting to do with the Girl Guides, so I was a little bit concerned about the weather, but it actually held off for us. All right. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay. Thanks, Kat. No, happy to give it a go and see what comes out. All right. I'm cutting them into 3 for you now. And then I'm going to pop back together. All right, let's see what the cards have got in store for you. Okay, Minor Arcana cards today. All right, so there is a fire sign female. I'm going to jump over here. There is a Queen of Wands in your life. So fire sign meaning Sagittarius, Aries or Leo female in your life. And I feel like there's been, she's been through a lot, this woman around you. And I think that you're participating or you're helping her in some way this week. And I think your energy is going to be in demand for her. And I think that she's basically looking for your support. You've been a very, very big support person for this woman. She's very important to you. But in the past, there has been a little bit of turbulence between you two. And I don't know whether you've been going through a bit of a rough patch with this. She's like a friend or someone really close to you. But I feel like there's a bit of an issue. And I wonder if there's a problem there. I wonder if you guys have had, if she's hurt you in the past. I feel like you're trying to kind of balance that energy with her. And I feel like it's a bit of give and take, but it's more take on her part, Kat. So my message is that the door swings both ways. So I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but with the 3 of Swords here with this relationship, I feel like emotionally it's draining you. So she might be someone who you really care about, but there is a little bit of that heartache that comes up with this person in your life. And what it's telling me is that you don't need to always be that person who is jumping the gun to go and be there for her. And you've probably set a few boundaries recently, but I feel like she's probably taking things, you know, in a different direction than what you're intending them. So you're trying to put in healthy boundaries and you're trying to say, I need a bit of a break from things like that. But I feel like it's emotionally taking its toll on you. So the 6 of Pentacles is saying to me energetically, so your resources, which is your energy, need to be tempered a bit, needs to be a balance there. So my energy with this friend, I would say for you, would be to ask, you know, well, what about if we do it on my terms a little bit? So if I'm going to catch up with you and help you out with something, how about I do it when I can? Or, you know, I might not be able to do it this week, but how about we look at another way that I can help you? Because sometimes people are so used to you being the one that would jump in and help and do things for them that they're not expecting you to put in those boundaries. But these are important for her growth, okay? So the Queen of Wands coming up here, she might not be responding to that energy very well to start with, but if you don't put those boundaries in, she's not going to learn those lessons. So I feel like it's healthy, it's important, but it's actually affecting you emotionally. So I hope that that's made sense, but the message is to keep your boundaries firm. Healthy boundaries do make people a bit upset at times, but you need to protect yourself or it's only going to wear you down and your health down. And I'm really seeing that as a warning for you that, yes, be there, do what you can, but do it on fair terms where she's actually doing stuff for you as well and it's not just one-sided. I feel like it's a bit one-sided. I hope that's made sense, Kat.
What was the birthday date for the card?
Yes, so Leo, Sagittarius, or what's the other? Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, star sign. So birth dates are Aries is end of March through April. Leo is end of July through August, and Sagittarius is end of November through December. So if you know any of those birth dates, if they correlate to a female in your life, then hopefully that makes sense. All right. Okay. Okay. My first name. My first time here. Yes, yes. Okay. I'm really sorry. I can't pronounce your. Is it I can't pronounce your first name. I'm so sorry. I can't quite read it from here. But can you help me with it, Matt, do you reckon? Can you help me with your first name, please? Beginning with I. Is it L? I'm sorry, I don't want to muck it up. It's probably really obvious. It's kind of like Yvonne or something like that. Isolde or Isolde? Isolde. I'll say Isolde, okay? And hopefully that's all right. But if I'm saying it wrong, I'm really sorry. Isolde, I'm going to be shuffling the cards for you. But I know sometimes the E's on the end are an E, like an E pronunciation. So correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, Isolde, I'm looking at the cards and we're going to see what comes through. It's a lovely name. It really is. I'm just terrible with things like that sometimes. I get Lindy a lot from people who aren't used to Mindy. And so it can be tricky when I'm saying my name rather than spelling it. Okay. Getting those cards nice and warm for you, Isolde, and just wanting to get that connection there. So I wonder, have you had a reading before? Have you played with the cards? Have you had a reading before? Cards are so interesting. They connect us energetically. Aren't they special? All right, popping them back any way that I can. And we're going to start, Isolde. Are you ready? Okay. All right, you have lots of choices coming up in your life, lots of decisions coming up around you. And I feel like you feel a bit stuck at the moment energetically. So I have the Seven of Cups, which is emotional confusion, feeling a bit lost in yourself. And the message here is that maybe this is a period of stagnation for you so that the right timing can come up in your life. So I feel like there is a lot of choices around you, a lot of ways that you can go about things. So with the cups, we've got lots of different elements that we can look at, but that can be confusing and overwhelming. So when there's too much going on in our lives emotionally, it can actually bring us to a kind of burnout feeling. And I feel like you've been doing too much for everybody and you've been doing too much all the time. And so your energy is spread a little bit thin for lots and lots of reasons, work-wise, relationship-wise, friends, all of that. And I think you're just spreading yourself way too thin. So what happens when we do that, when we run around and we do so many things, we pack it into our lives, is we end up feeling really burnt and we feel really lethargic and things feel a little bit flat. So I feel like your motivation is probably not where it should be. And that's what you're stuck on. You really want to keep working. You're doing the grind. You've got big goals that you're striving for, but I feel like it's really running you down. So now you're in between a rock and a hard place where you've got yourself, to a point where you've managed to get yourself in a position where there's security and you're successful and you're working really, really hard. But the end game is to try to kind of build a future. I can see that. But it's actually draining your energy. So what is it worth? So the Queen of Pentacles over here is a female in your life. So we have Earth sign. So Earth signs are Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn, and a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn female in your life is probably around you, and she's probably a big part of this. What I would say is that her energy is again similar to the last one I did for Kat, but she's asking for demanding a lot from you in terms of your abilities. So I feel like this is kind of like a boss or a maternal figure or something like that. And I feel like the message here is that when it comes to demands and when it comes to the energy that you're putting out to everything, you can't be everything to everyone. So even though you're working on your goals, even though you're trying to achieve more resources at the moment and you're building your future, you need to drop a ball. You need to drop something so that you can see a path forward, because holding on to all those pentacles, you can see he's holding on to all those pentacles. He's trying to do everything. He's trying to keep them all balanced. But that's too much of a struggle. If he was able to let one of those go, if he was able to let the one go from his head that he's trying to balance on top, or if he was able to let the one go he's holding in his arms, he'd be a lot more freer to be able to see a way forward or to make decisions. Now, I feel more that this is somebody who has an option for you or has something for you to do. You're already doing a lot, but this female has an option for you. I would say the answer would be no. Okay, so I think the answer would be absolutely not. All right, so don't jump in and say yes all the time, to especially when there are demands. And look, this does look really lucrative, but I feel like until you're able to drop a ball over here, until you're able to put something aside, I think it's going to be a bit of an issue. So I think there's a bit of a problem here. So you're trying to put your eggs in one basket, and I feel like the answer is no. There's already a female in his life, I would say. There's already a friend in his life. He's connected to a female, or he can't let go of a female that he's struggled with. So that might be your Pentacles, your earth sign female there. And it might be him holding on to that. And so my answer feels like a no anyway. So I feel like in your life you do have to drop something, but I do feel like you're working too hard in your own world, but also that he's holding on to something else. So his heart is somewhere else, or he's stuck somewhere else. So even if he tells you he's moved on, even if he tells you he's not connected to her anymore, I feel like he's deluding. Okay, this is the card for delusions. He's deluding himself. Okay, and he's possibly deluding you. So it's just a bit of trouble that you're walking into. So I would love to say yes, go for it. It's amazing, but I think your intuition tells you no as well. Sorry about that one. All right, Marie, let's have a look. So yes, walk away. Sorry, I don't sugarcoat with the tarot. You also need to drop a few balls in your life. You're too busy. Okay, Marie, let's have a look. Good shuffle of the cards. Get that warm energy in there. It is so nice to see the sun outside today. We didn't expect it would be here, so it's even better. All right. Okay, good shuffling. I can feel that energy going into those cards. They're nice and warm, which is great. You're so welcome, and so sorry about your name, Isolde. I think I got it in the end, but you correct me if I'm wrong, please. So I get it all the time. I get Mandy, I get Lindy, and I don't mind necessarily, but I know it's frustrating for the person who gets it wrong. Yeah, so every Sunday I'll be jumping on doing live tarots, because it's just a way for me to connect as well, because I love to play with the cards, and it's great. It's just such a wonderful energy thing. All right, so I'm just going to cut these into 3. So anybody who's thinking of doing tarot, I'm offering a course where I teach beginners tarot on my website, wheelintheworld.com.au. All right, this is for you, Marie. We've got a major arcana card right in the middle. Okay. All right. So I've got the Chariot as where things are moving from. All right, and the Chariot is a major arcana card. It's number 7 in the pack. And what it's saying is that you're moving forward in a new direction, and you've been on this path for a short time, but you're jumping into something new, and you're kind of exploring something spiritual. So I think you're on a bit of a destination to become more acquainted with your spiritual self. So there's been a lot of stuff that's cropped up for you that's made you start thinking about all of that stuff. But the Chariot is also taking you in a direction where I think there might be people around you, Marie, who don't always have your best interests at heart. And the 7 of Swords indicates that there's someone around you who isn't quite giving you the truth, or isn't sharing with you exactly what you might need to hear. So I think that that's something that really bothers me, because you're an honest person, and I think that this is someone who is just, look, I wouldn't say it's not a major card in terms of that. It's a minor arcana card, but it's just somebody who's your kindness, they're kind of taking advantage of that in your life, but they're not telling you or sharing with you some of the things that you might need to know about a particular circumstance. And I feel like you're the person that would jump, you would run over there, you would help this person, you would do anything for them. But I feel like this person is just not being forward or sharing information with you like they should be. And the Hermit makes you withdraw your energy, because then you feel like people are taking advantage and it's exhausting. And, so the Hermit is you pulling back your energy. So what I would say is that if your intuition is telling you that someone isn't being forthright or coming, up with the truth to you, you need to trust that. And I think you've got a really good grasp on intuition as well. And I think that that's something that it really bothers you, because you can't understand why people would behave that way when you've got the integrity within yourself. So these are really strong cards. So I would say the Chariot is suggesting that if you're looking at pulling yourself back from this person or this group of people even, it's okay to do so. It's okay to say, look, I'm going to pull back completely because I feel like I'm not getting the straight answers here. So that can be really frustrating as well. But it is more like murky information, or they're just holding back, or you're not quite getting the full picture of what's going on. But you have done everything you can. So stop beating yourself up, number one. You have been there for this person or these people in your life. I feel like it's not just one person, it's like people close to you, possibly in your family. But you can't, change their reactions. And sometimes it's their own insecurities that make this happen. So your intentions are always well placed and you're doing the best you can for them. So you don't need to feel bad about that for any reason. The Hermit is saying your spiritual goals, what you're trying to achieve that way, are actually really aligned at the moment. So take yourself out of that guilt trap, because that's not going to help you, and focus on how much light you can bring, because you do so much for others. And I know that it's not always appreciated or received well, and that's the problem, is that a lot of people aren't ready to receive support or receive help from people, even though you're very loving and you're very caring. But the Chariot is saying to me that, perhaps, the truth will come out eventually, but your best bet, your best course of action is to keep staying true to yourself. And when you get those feelings where people are lying to you or not sharing information with you, you probably do need to, pull back. But the Hermit is also a really positive card. I really love the Hermit, because I'm going to pull it up to the camera, because it actually is about your quest for knowledge, and you are evolving your spiritual connection so much. And I feel like that light that you shine in other people's lives actually impacts on them greater than you think it does. So just keep being authentic, keep being true to yourself like you are, and but don't expect others to necessarily understand that pathway. But just keep being yourself, keep being true to you, and keep sharing your light, sharing your insight, because you have a lot to offer and you are on the right path. And that's the Chariot saying that this isn't you, it's them. And the Swords is all about other people's insecurities. So I know it's hard, and this is the human element, not to take it on board, but I feel that sometimes you wear your heart on your sleeve and it really bothers you. So if you're waking up at 3 a.m. worrying about certain family members, or thinking, something's up, you're right on the money. Your intuition knows. Okay. So this is your light shining, going, I can see this for really what it is. But it's like trying to fight a mist, because they're not actually giving you that energy to work with. But the message is you can't do much about them not having the same integrity as you. So just be true to you, okay? All right, I'm going to move to one more today. David, hello from Canada. Welcome here. Nice to see you. I'm Mindy. I've been reading for over 25 years. My mum was a tarot reader, so really, really nice to connect with you all today. And so I love the tarot. It's my way of connecting myself spiritually to other people and to the universe. So David, I'll shuffle the cards if you're comfortable, and lay out a spread for you. So I'm doing 3 card readings today, and what it means is that I'm just connecting my energy to yours. Energy transcends space and time. It's one of those wonderful things. So really, really, really exciting to have a look. Okay, so whereabouts in Canada are you from, David? So if you just share where you're from, I'd be really interested. We're in Victoria, in about 2.5 hours from Melbourne, so on the northeast coast of Melbourne. So we live in a regional town. It's a lovely place. You're welcome, Marie. Lovely to touch base with you. I hope it made sense for you. Yeah, so if you guys want to follow these regularly, I'll be doing these on Sundays. I really love the idea of spending a Sunday jumping on and doing some live tarots when I can. There may be exceptions to that. So if you like and subscribe to my YouTube or my Facebook, then you'll get those updates of when I'm going live. And we do a whole lot of different live segments. So yeah, this will be a regular thing. I've just got my setup all organised so I can do this more often, which is really exciting. Oh, Ontario. Great. I've never been to Canada. I would love to go over to Canada. My mother lived in Canada when she was a child. She lived there for 8 years, came back to Australia when she was 16. And she lived on just off Vancouver on a place called Texada Island. Okay, I'm just popping those together. My grandmother married a miner from Canada. Okay, David. So we have some interesting cards coming out for you today. All right, so I feel like you've taken a chance in your life. You've taken a leap of faith recently, and that's the Fool in the center of the reading. Now, the Fool is a very interesting card. I'm going to hold it up. I'm jumping over here first. Now, the Fool is about all those things that are misunderstood in the universe. So the Fool is often viewed by others as being foolish because he takes a leap of faith into the unknown. Most people are scared of doing that because of, obviously, we need to survive as human beings, so apprehension is a survival skill, but also because it's viewed negatively by other people. We don't want to be the weird ones in the collective, right? So oftentimes when you make a decision against the status quo and you do something out of the blue, you are viewed as foolish, and that's hence why he's called the Fool. But the Fool is a positive card. We can see that beautiful yellow sky behind him, and that is the sun emanating positive energy. That's the symbolism there. And what it's saying to you is that you've taken a leap of faith recently, but you're feeling concerned or you're feeling worried about that leap of faith and where that might lead. But I'm going to say to you that just because there's been recent hurt or just because there's been some pain, I feel like this leap of faith that you're taking or you're going to undertake, I feel like it's either happening right now or it's going to happen. You feel like it hasn't really paid off or it's not really going in the direction that you want it to go. I feel like this involves an earth sign female. So an earth sign female is a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And I feel like maybe you've taken a leap of faith and she's involved in this as well. She's sitting here, our earth sign female. So if you don't know the star signs, I can tell you some of the dates. But yeah, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn female. And I feel like you're feeling like you're at your lowest ebb or you're about to head into a bit of a downturn in terms of your energy. But I will say that if you've been hurt in the past, if you feel like you're walking into something where there's going to be some pain, you're at the darkest now, okay? It can't get any worse than this. You've already been there. You're already in that as we speak. I feel that now for you, that hurt and that pain. I feel that the dawn is rising and, you know, it's always darkest before dawn. So when we do something really risky or we take a big chance, it always feels really overwhelming and it can be really, really, really scary as well. But this card has a positive element to it. I know it doesn't look very positive, but it's got, even though there's 10 swords sticking out of this person's back, there is a sky coming through the horizon that's bright. Okay, the dawn is filling the darkness. So when we see black sky symbolized in the tarot, it always means heavy energy. It always means, you know, something a little bit more of a darker energy, right? Something around us that feels really full on. But that light is seeping through and we've got lines through that sky saying that is about to end. Tens are about endings, about cycles, about change. So the Fool is saying saying taking a leap of faith wasn't a silly thing to do. Like you may be thinking about yourself, or you might be beating yourself up about some things. This is just saying that, yeah, you've hit a bit of a low, absolutely, but things are going to look up from here. I absolutely welcome this card when things have felt a bit flat or things have felt a little bit out of sorts. But this card definitely means that the dawn is coming and there is joy to be had. So your leap of faith, David, that you've taken is actually about to turn a corner, and things are actually looking up. So the Fool is a major card here, and that's what we're focusing on. These are just minor cards. The major aspect to this reading is that that leap of faith is something that will pay off for you. That's going to be a positive outcome. Yes, you've gone into the unknown. Yes, it feels scary. Yes, there's lots of elements that are really, really hard to deal with. And yes, it's painful. No one's going to sugarcoat that it's not painful. But you're going to come out of this okay. I really, really want to reassure you of that. So you did the right thing by taking that leap, and I want you to take a leap again. Don't be scared to jump back on the horse, okay? It's never too late to take chances again, even when you've been burnt in the past, because as hard as it does feel to do that and to get that courage after you've been through some traumas and pain, it's one of the only ways to get yourself back into being good again, to feeling great again. So jump back on the horse, and I think that things are going to start to look up really quickly for you. I genuinely do. And I think that your lowest ebb is nearly over. So I hope that's really helped you with that motivation to keep looking forward. All right, well, thank you so much, guys, for jumping on today. It's been so lovely to get on and have a read. So next Sunday, I'll be back on. Like and subscribe, and I look forward to talking to you soon. See you all.